Hi there, how are you doing today? Namaste, good morning, afternoon, wherever you are. My name is Vishnudat and I work as a network architect in Cisco. To begin the session, I want to begin with the promise that if you can give me your 1 hour, I'll make sure that at the end of this event, at the end of this meeting, you are going to have a perfect and clear understanding that what exactly you need to prepare if you are going for an interview or networking job interview. Maybe it's in Cisco, maybe it's in Juniper or any other networking companies. Nowadays, even cloud companies like Amazon, Google, they are or Microsoft, they are actively looking for uh, networking professionals, right? So once we are done with this session, you will be having enough understanding of what exactly you need to prepare, how much technical detail you need, and what are the soft skills you are going to require. Okay. So having said that, let's start and let's start with the job role first. So I'm not sure whether you have seen Cisco's job portal or not, but there are many opportunities there available right now, even in other industries also. So if you can see that basically the job opportunity sometime you are going to see is network consulting engineer, technical consultant, architect, or team lead. This session is for everybody. Means if you have only 2 years of experience, 1 years of experience, or 15 years of experience, doesn't matter. I just want to let you know that what exactly will look into a candidate when he or she comes for a job interview, right? So actually there are two parts. One is kind of a reactive. Uh, one job role comes into the reactive category, and the other one is a kind of a job role which comes as a proactive category, right? So if you can see the reactive part, means if something goes wrong into a particular network, then they are asking you, right, to fix it. And the proactive means you understand the network well, you know what exactly going on in the network, and then you are suggesting something to improve it, or basically a specific design change or something like that, right? If I talk about reactive, then the consultant role or the TAC role comes into this category of the reactive service, right? If you talk about the proactive service, then network consulting engineers or NCE job comes into that category. Also, there are some other kind of job roles like operations and whatnot. But let's concentrate on these two things first, right? If I'm talking about network consulting engineer, and before getting promoted to architect, I was a network consulting engineer, and I am doing consultancy for several of my customers, right? So if you talk about NCE role, what exactly a NCE does, let me explain you. So uh, right now, if you are part of, so here basically in Cisco we have separate pillars for separate technologies, right? We have enterprise, we have service providers, we have collab, we have data center, and we have security also, right? So it depends in which portion you fit, right? If I'm talking about enterprise, then it talks about routing and switching, normal routing and switching, right? And the recent technologies which we are seeing, which comes into the category of uh, software-defined WAN, right? SD access, and then basically we are having because enterprise means data center also, so ACI also we see into this segment. If we talk about SP, then you know that there are many technologies which are there for SP, like MPLS, right? And now the new technologies like 4G, 5G is also coming under the SP, right? Then the collaboration, which talks about your collaboration solutions like phones, right? Video solutions, and so much. Data center, you know, right? Uh, and the security, where we talk about SASE model and so on, right? So many things are there. So The point here is that whether you are coming for the reactive job role or the proactive job role, right? So if I'm talking about NCE, it is kind of a proactive job role. So what exactly I do, or what exactly the expectations from this job role is, so once you join Cisco or any other networking company as network consulting engineer, right? The job role is that you will be assigned to several different customers, maybe customer number A, customer number B, customer number C, right? What you need to do is you need to understand whatever their current or existing network is, right? Once you understand their existing network, then and it takes time. So whenever you join any company, they are going to give you some time. You spend the time in customer network, right? And after that, after spending 1 month or 1.5 months, you will be having a pretty good understanding of what exactly customer is looking for, right? So they can ask you that some portion of my network are not working fine. So can you do a design review of it, right? So this comes under the proactive service because you are proactively doing something because the network is in place, right? The second thing is the customer. For example, this customer is spinning up his new branch, a totally separate new branch, and he is asking for, can you do the deployment for me? Means, can you plan it? Whatever I am planning to do. For example, if he wants to come up with a new data center, then he can ask you to plan it, then design it, and also he can ask you to implement it. So PDI role is also come under this NCE category, right? Then uh, 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 if you talk about their existing network, right? For example, this customer C is going to say, you have access to all of my configuration, everything. Can you suggest that how can I make my network more robust? Robust in terms of that I do not want single point of failure. I want new technologies to be implemented, right? So that way, he is specifically asking you to improve his network. But yes, they have existing network in place, right? So proactive means you know everything about the customer network and you are suggesting something, right? Or basically you are doing plan design and implementation for the customer network. Now there is another piece of work which comes as a reactive service, right? So customer network is working fine, absolutely working fine, no problem at all. But certain immediately means in a real time manner, this neighborship between two router goes down and customer is not able to debug that what exactly happening behind the scene, right? So if that is the case, if that is the problem, then this customer is going to talk to Cisco, right? And he can say that, can you assign me a resource who can debug and understand my problem and can solve it for me, right? So that is where basically a check service or reactive service comes into picture, right? So there are different kind of roles there, and we have the same kind of distribution like enterprise, SP, right? Collab, DC, in the tech side also, or technical assistant side also. So two roles, different roles. It depends on what exactly you like. So if you like troubleshooting more in the real time, then I would say you go for this technical consultant role or technical leader role, right? But if you like more, means if you like to uh, think more or to improve more, and you want to see the complete picture of the network, then you should be looking something into the network consulting engineer role or the architect role, right? So these guys, the reactive guys, are pretty good with respect to a particular technology. For example, if I say that something is not working in SD-WAN, they are kind of a master in SD-WAN, and they can basically debug any problem out of whether it is related to your whether it is related to your certificates or routing or anything with respect to SD-WAN. But believe me, when comes to design a network, that how you are going to design this complete network, which is having a data center, which is having multiple branches, and now you need to connect these various things with uh, over the internet, right? Then basically you need to deploy this complete SD-WAN solution, right? So overall understanding wise, I would say, and it should not be the expectations from the reactive guys, right? Because they fix the problem for you. If there is a problem into particular part of the network, they know that part and they can fix you. But yes, you cannot expect them to design the complete network, and that is where your proactive part comes into picture, right? So you need to concentrate on where exactly to which role you are going, right? And the job responsibilities are will be right there for you. For example, if i if I mention that there is a job opening for network consulting engineer in any networking company, or maybe say in Cisco, they will be saying you that this NC job role is for enterprise domain, right? And they need you to be expert or having solid understanding of routing and switching, right? Because they also work in SD-WAN domain. They want that you should be good with respect to SD-WAN, right? And then maybe some part of SDXs also, but it is all into the routing and switching domain, which comes under the enterprise. If there is a opening for network consulting engineer, right? If there is an opening for network consulting engineer uh, in the security domain, then basically, yeah, they are expecting you that you should know something in FTD, or if you know ASA, Palo Alto, or something like that, right? So, but yes, to in each of these job, I find one thing common, that you should be having solid fundamental knowledge of the networking concept. It doesn't matter you are coming here for the collaboration, if you are coming here for enterprise service provider, doesn't matter at all. You should be having firm basic understanding of the networking concept. And believe me, I'm going to tell you from where exactly you are going to get that kind of knowledge, right? Because I have seen people who are too much confused that they have read that how do computers talk when you connect them with a switch, right? But they do not know to what level we or any networking company is going to ask them, right? So I am going to tell you what uh, uh, exactly what detail you need to go to while studying. It doesn't matter whether you are studying BGP, OSPF, or anything else, right? But how much depth you we are expecting from you, I will be explaining you, right? So this board is for only to understand the job roles which we already have in networking industry, right? If you consider the networking part, I'm not talking about network development side. I'm talking about from the point of network, what typically a network engineer does, right? So, uh, from job roles perspective, we have network consulting engineer, we have network engineer, network consultant, technical consultant, and what is the different I have also mentioned. So, architect side, basically, if a NC goes to a higher level in his career, he will become the architect. If a technical consultant goes on a higher level, it will become the technical lead, right? But believe me, these are just the names, doesn't matter, right? You need to understand whether you are part of the reactive organization or the proactive organization. And believe me, most of the folks uh, which I came across has different area of specialization. Some always want to work in the proactive manner, or some always want to work into the reactive manner. But this is not the case that if you have chosen reactive, you cannot change to proactive. You can pretty easily change, right? I have seen people have spent time as a technical consultant engineer 3 to 4 years, and then they move from technical consultant to network consulting engineer pretty easily, right? Because as a consultant, you have a great troubleshooting skills. You know exactly where the problem is. But if you want to enhance your knowledge, if you want to see the complete picture of the design, you should be considering this job. So this is always better to join as a technical consultant, go into deeper the technology, and then learn how you are going to design it on a larger level. Okay. Okay, this is perfect. So let's go and talk about technical requirements, right? How much you are going to learn, right? So, so if I say whatever you are reading, just read uh, from the viewpoint of as much as technical details you want to read, you should. I can give you one example, right? For most of the guys who are coming here for the interview, right? Within 30 minutes or 15 minutes of interview, right? Uh, a senior person who is taking the interview just come to know that whether this guy knows the fundamentals well or not, right? And believe me, within 50 to 30 minutes. And how we do that, I'll just let you know, right? So suppose you come here for interview or I go for an interview. There are some basic questions, very basic questions, right? And suppose there is question like if I have a switch, right? And I have connected only two hosts to it, host number A, host number B. Very good. Then I have assigned an IP address 192.168.1. Say 100/25, and then 192.168.1.200 slash 25. Then MAC address of this guy is A:(A). The MAC address of this guy is B:(B). Right? First thing first. Doesn't matter whether you are coming for you have an experience of only 6 months or you have an experience of 10 years, right? If you cannot connect or if you do not know how to computers talk when you connect them with a switch, then there is no point of discussing how you are going to connect the entire world computer, right? Right? So generally, I have seen that the interview starts from right here, that you have a switch, you have connected to host to it, and here is the IP address. Uh, take your time, right? Generally means we give the interviewer time, right? Take your time to think around it. What I want is what exactly happens behind the scenes when you initiate a ping from this guy, right? What happened exactly when you say ping 192.168.1.200, right? On A. So, so here is the problem, right? People find it pretty easy, and it is the easy question, right? If you are in this industry for maybe 7-8 years, or if you have just started learning, this is the first thing which you start learning, right? And believe me, most of the interviews just over on this questions on this question. So you can explain what exactly happens behind the scene in 30 minutes, or you can explain in only 1 minute, right? And believe me, 1 minute approach is not going to be good, because what we are going to say is take your time, right? Take your time, try to build a mental model, what exactly happens behind the scene, right? So I'm just giving an example for you. So what exactly people do that first thing they say uh, that because these two are in same network, they will communicate, right? So my first question is whether they are going to communicate. If they are going to communicate, then how? Then most of the people say that these are on the same network. They should be able to communicate, right? And believe me, interview is not over here, right? Uh, we always give, or the interviewer always give so many hints to you, right? If he's a genuine interviewer, he is going to give you so many hints, right? So because sometimes you can overlook this complete picture. Although this picture, there is nothing to overlook here, but believe me, people get confused here. So what is the intention of asking this question? The intention of asking this question is whether you understand what is the difference between IP addressing and MAC addressing, right? Whether you understand why do we need these two addresses? Why can't we have only one IP address, or why can't we have only IP address and call it a day, right? Why do we need MAC address? The second question is, do you understand how address resolution protocol work? The third question, I'm not asking about the questions. See, I have just told you that what exactly happens behind the scene when I assign these IP address to these hosts, connect it to back to a switch, and then initiating a ping, right? The meaning, the intent of the interviewer is whether you know IP-MAC, whether you know address resolution protocol, whether you know, right, how exactly switch works, right? The fourth thing is whether you know uh, subnetting. Absolutely, subnetting is right here, right? So then you know in switching basically what is flooding, right? You know what is basically filtering, everything, right? And believe me, all these concepts cannot be explained in 1 minute. So if somebody is asking you, right, how two computers are can be able to talk when you connect them with a switch, basically the intent is whether you know all these things or not, right? So this is the level of understanding which I wanted to let you know that if you are reading, you should read like this. The next question which comes, or basically which these guys make sure that they ask, they are going to connect this with the router then, right? And then they create another switch here, and then basically another host which is a C, right? Now basically they are asking that what exactly happens when you initiate a ping toward this host, which is host number C, right? What exactly he wants to ask, that how router works, where exactly this R request will be filtered, right? Whatever happening on this side of the network in terms of address resolution protocol, whether it will go here, right? People are pretty smart that they say that router doesn't forward R, but they do not know they cannot forward R, but they can generate R, right? I'm not explaining the questions answer, guys, but try to understand how exactly an interviewer come to know within 15 to 30 minutes whether you have solid understanding of networking fundamentals or not, right? So when they extend this topology, they are saying they're introducing router, and when they are introducing router, they expect whether you understand routing table, how routing table works, right? Similarly here in switching, basically they want to make sure whether you understand how what are the contents of MAC table, how does exactly it work, how flooding, filtering happens at the switch level, right? So uh, you understand routing table, right? Many people are confused that when you generate a ping packet here, right? When this host A generates a ping packet, which is 192.168.1.100 towards .200, they are confused uh, that why the first packet gets dropped, right? Do we need to change the MAC address is going to be A:A:A and the B:B:B? Where exactly the MAC address is going to be changed, right? Do we need any default routers when we are talking on the same subnet? So these are the things which let us exactly know, which let us know that yes, we can filter this candidate out, or this candidate can go out for the next round of interview, right? I have just taken example of only one or two questions, but believe me, there are so many, right? And I have what I have done is on my YouTube channel, I will be sharing you the link, or you can just see my LinkedIn page, right? On my LinkedIn page, there are so many videos I have uploaded, and believe me, I have collected 16 or 15 questions, right, which are very, very important for to check whether you possess the great or fundamental knowledge of networking concepts. So these 15 questions are right there on my YouTube channel. I have explained starting six or five of them. Believe me, these questions are not true false questions, right? These questions cannot be explained in 1 or 2 minutes period. So that is why I am going to explain all these questions on my YouTube channel every week. and believe me, you are not going to miss them. The questions are very simple, right? First thing, how two computers talk when they are connected with a single switch? How two computers talk when they are far apart, means they are on different VLANs and router is in between them, right? Or basically, what exactly happens when you write www.google.com, right, into your laptop? Believe me, this question can be answered in 1 hour or can be answered in 2 minutes, right? And most of the big network companies or the cloud companies filter based on some of such questions, right? One question is this one. In this question, basically, they can go into ask about the DNS, detail of DNS. They can ask you TCP, they can ask you UDP, and that is where most of the guys get into the trap, right? They say generally what happens that we are pretty good with respect to layer one, which is your physical layer, layer two, which is your data link layer three is the strongest one, which is the routing layer or the network layer, right? But as we move towards L4, right, things starts getting changed. We do not know much about TCP and UDP, and that is where and believe me, the understanding of this is too much, is too important, right? Because most of the time in my organization also I see the network engineer who is having a solid understanding till layer 3 says it is not my problem, right? Everything is working fine on my layer, on my till my layer. L4 guys or the application guys says my application is working fine. Then where is the problem? The problem is exactly at the layer 4, right? So the L5 guys or the application guys are saying the problem is in network. Network guys is saying the problem is with the application. But believe me, the problem sometimes is of the TCP, and that is why the TCP knowledge is a must, right? And in through this question, www.google.com, what exactly happens? They can ask you DNS, they can ask you TCP, they can go right into the detail of TCP, that how, what exactly maximum segment size is, how congestion control work, what is windowing, right? And believe me, these are the concepts uh, which haunts a lot of people, right? Then flow control. But believe me, when you see TCP, just a protocol which is used to resolve some of the issues which we find on internet, then you can easily able to learn it. For example, right now I am doing a multicast, right? I am sending my stream to you, all of you, right? And you are tuning into a particular channel to see that screen. Here is a problem. There is a one basic problem in this setup. I am telling something to you, right? But I'm not getting any acknowledgement from you because there is no two-way communication. That is why LinkedIn is helping me so that you can write some of the questions. And believe me, the next sessions, whatever I'm going to do, is not going to be on LinkedIn Live or unless I research it well, because there is some technical issues on the LinkedIn Live for now. But thank you so much for joining here. The whole sole point is, when somebody is asking what exactly happens when you write www.google.com on your laptop, they can filter you out on the basis of this question itself. I have seen interviews where people are asking only this question, and that interviews goes for 1.5 hours long, right? And from this question, they come to the conclusion that yes, the fundamental wise, the basic concept wise, this guy is strong. So this is your first step. If I say technical requirement, what is the first step? Your fundamental skills, your fundamental knowledge of networking concept. And all those questions, and believe me, these questions are not from me, right? We in corona time period, when people were losing job, right? So I was creating these videos to help many people, uh, that if you can understand, basically if you understand these 15 questions, right, uh, to the greatest of depth, and what exactly depth you require, the depth is right there on my YouTube channel. The YouTube channel name, I think somebody has asked, is the bridge. The channel name is the bridge. If you can write the bridge SD-WAN, if you can write the bridge SD access, you can see my channel there, right? Or, or on the LinkedIn, if you can go to my profile and check that I have posted several videos on SD-WAN, cloud networking, SD access. So many videos are there. How to prepare for your interviews. Everything is right there, right? So I was talking about the depth, how much depth you want to go to there. For example, for these questions, I have explained each and everything on my YouTube channel, right? How much detail you want, right? How much exactly detail you want to explain this question well. So there are 15 questions. If you prepare them, those are not true false question. If you prepare them from my videos, or if you want to prepare them from anywhere else, it is up to you, but do prepare for them, because those are the fundamentals on the basis of which we eliminate people, right? The second thing, now the fundamental part is good, perfect, you know the fundamentals. So now out of 100 people, basically I could find only 20 to 30 people who has these good fundamentals, right? Even I'm little generous to this, but believe me, sometimes we don't even see 10 to 20, right? Who knows this fundamentals well. So I'm presuming that now you are into the category of this fundamentals, right? Now consider that there are only 10 jobs, but we have 20 to 30 people there who are coming for this job, who has passed the first round of interview. Everybody is good with respect to networking fundamentals, right? Perfect. So we are on the same page. Here are 20 to 30 guys who are pretty good with respect to networking fundamentals. Now, what do we need more, right? So how you are going to be differentiate yourself from others. So right now, if you are going for an enterprise part of the interview, right, there are some technologies which are right there, which are based on your routing and switching, right? So there is one technology which we call SD-WAN, software defined wide area networking, and believe me, this is going to be the technology of future, right? So many organizations which you see that they have their WAN infrastructure. Even every organization, every enterprise has the WAN infrastructure. And in coming 5 years, everybody is going to move their WAN infrastructure to software-defined WAN. I'm not saying that everyone is going to move to Cisco solution. There are many solutions available, right? Cisco is available, Silver Peak is available, and many more solutions are there. But the point is that every enterprise is going to move their legacy WAN infrastructure into software-defined WAN in upcoming 5 years. So there is a huge requirement. Even in Cisco, we can see that there are so many projects on which on which people are working for SD-WAN, and there is so many projects are in pipeline. So there is a requirement for it. There is a huge requirement for it. And believe me, this technology is not difficult at all. If you do not believe me, just watch my SD-WAN Learn SD-WAN from scratch series. I have put the starting 5 videos there. It is right there, so that you can be comfortable of this technology. I put a lot of hands-on videos also there, that how you are going to create your SD-WAN lab absolutely free of cost, right? By using Google Cloud. Because most of the guys do not prepare for SD-WAN, because they say, if I do not have lab, I cannot work on this, right? So this is the problem. This is exactly a problem, right? So if you do not have server, that powerful machine, you cannot practice SD-WAN. But believe me, there are many solutions to this problem. You can have a powerful machine in GCP absolutely free of cost, because GCP is going to give you approximately $400. $400, and those $400 you can create a pretty powerful machine in GCP, right? And then you can, and how to do that, what exactly steps you are going to need, everything is mentioned on my YouTube channel. So I will be showcasing you I will be opening the YouTube channel here after some time. But let's try to understand what we are doing here is that the plan is that now we were having 100 people. We have filtered out 10 or 20 or 20 to 30 out of them on the basis of good fundamentals. But now what makes you more special if you know some of the software defined networking step also. Doesn't matter whether it's a WAN or access or ACI, but you should be having at least one software defined networking technology, right? So somebody asking if you are working in Cisco. Yes, I am working in Cisco. Uh, uh, I work for enterprise team here in Cisco and solve problem for many customers, right? So I could see that there is a lot of openings in Cisco and Juniper, and there are so many openings in so many companies, good companies. So just wanted to give you a heads up that when you are going up, there are some free resources available for you, right? Just want to use them, and believe me, everything is explained in a very crisp manner if you just go and watch my videos, right? So uh, just suggesting you to have a strong base on at least one software defined networking technology. So just have a look at from the WAN perspective, and believe me, if you guys, and I'm not sure how many years of experience you have, but if you know BGP, right? If you know BGP well, or if you know DMVPN well, believe me, uh, uh, SD-WAN is going to be a piece of cake for you. Absolutely piece of cake for you if you know BGP well, right? But but it doesn't matter that if you do not know BGP, you cannot learn SD-WAN, right? If you do not know BGP, then basically there is a protocol called OMP. You can say it's a stripped down version of BGP. So we are going to discuss this OMP. It is already discussed in some of my videos from scratch there. That if you do not know BGP, then also you can learn pretty easily SD-WAN. But yes, if you know BGP, SD-WAN is going to be a piece of cake for you, right? So now you have good fundamentals, right? You have at least one software defined networking concept in under your belt, right? What else you can do? See, one thing is learning, right? If you know the concepts well, and that is fine for guys who are having experience of maybe 2 to 3 years or maybe 2 to 4 years. Uh, but believe me, if you read concepts, if you read them pretty well, you can design a network from scratch, right? So whenever you are going to read SD-WAN, try to think from design perspective also. For example, if a customer comes to you and he has 500 remote sites and he has 2 data center and he has MPLS and internet connectivity, can you design a network for me who is based on software defined networking, right? And that is where your concepts comes into picture. If you have a solid understanding of SD-WAN concept, and that is why we pay more close attention to concepts itself, right? So if you have a solid understanding of the concepts, right, then you can design the network, then you can think to design your network, right? So fundamental knowledge, SD-WAN concepts in detail, plus if you can design a network, then you will be on top of the list for any networking company, right? Fundamentals. If you have read technology, maybe software defined WAN, ACI access, but if you can design the network on top of it from scratch, then your profile is kind of a unique profile there, right? And believe me, if you add one more thing on top of it, which doesn't need much time, right? Although I can say that the fundamentals, if you do not know the fundamentals well, and you will come to know after watching my videos there, right? I have explained subnetting there. I have explained how do computers talk, how do computers talk when they are not in same VLAN. I have explained so many things there, right? You will come to know that yes, you lag in fundamentals, right? If you're lagging in fundamentals, believe me, you need at least 4 to 5 months of time to learn these fundamentals. Then you need at least 2 months of time to learn this SD-WAN, right? And now the third thing, again important, but this is only to separate your profile with everybody, right? So till this point, I could say from out of 100, the people who knows this one and two with the design perspective, we find only two or three such peoples, or maybe 2 to 5 such peoples, right? How can you be differentiating with between 2 to 5? If you can just see, if you can just add one more skill to your resume, which is learning any language of your choice, maybe Python, right? And believe me, you do not require each and everything in Python. You should not go into the object oriented programming. You should consider learning several modules. If you are a network engineer, if you are good with NetMiko, right? Or several modules which works with the networking devices. If you are good with some of the network protocols like con, right, which is hot right there. So if you are good with the network NetMiko or basically protocol which we call netcon, you would be good. So what we expect is, see, we are not looking for Python developers. We are just saying, can you do, for example, if you are sitting on your laptop, right? And then basically this laptop is connected to a switch, which is connected to say 4 routers or switches. Can you write a script here which can log into these devices, R1, R2, switch 1, switch 2, right? Which can log into these devices and configure something. We just expect only this much, right? Or any networking company just expect only this much. If you can do this, then you can build, or you can automate so many things, right? By using, because if you know all these things, then you understand the NetMiko, right? So if you understand these three things, if you, and believe me, this is going to be taking only 15 days of your effort and nothing else. So if you do not know anything, whatever I have explained you, and if you still want to go for a networking job interview, I would say wait for 6 months. At least give yourself a time, some time, right? If you are done with the step one, if you feel that nobody knows better fundamentals than me, right? You need to at least wait for 2 months of time to understand a networking technology which is software defined based, right? So if you can learn software defined WAN, access or anything, and just try to think from the design perspective also. If you are having experience of 10 to 14 years, believe me, you want to think everything from the design perspective. You should have the solid understanding of the concept first, and then how you are going to design this network, right? You need to understand this. Uh, and if you say that nobody knows better SD-WAN than me, then you are already ready for the interview. And there are so many openings out of there. But yes, if you include the third thing, which is going to take only 15 days of your effort, if you can add Python or learning of Linux operating system, it is not going to take more than 15 days. Believe me, if you can spend only 2 hours there to build this program, to understand some of the Linux commands here, so that you can push this config. You can run this script. If you want to use Windows, that is fine, but Linux is the industry standard. So it, and believe me, it is just as good as Windows. You copy paste command in Linux also, you copy paste command in Windows also. So nothing is difficult. But yes, if you do not know these three steps, first step was the fundamental. The second step was any software defined networking. The third step is basically if you can use automation or the Python, that is going to be great, and your profile is going to be right on the top. Okay, so everything is right there on the YouTube channel, right? If you need help understanding SD-WAN, you can message me on the what we can say, LinkedIn. I have posted my WhatsApp number also, because I use Saturday and Sunday time to solve issues of many people. So why I conducted this session? The only reason was because I was spending too much of time with individuals that how they can create, how they can come up, how can they prepare for networking job interview, right? So. Uh, uh, so that's why I decided to do this for wider audience, right? So I have some questions now before moving to the next board. Let's find them. Will SD-WAN replace MPLS technology or reduce the use of MPLS technology? I would say no, right? Somewhat, yeah, it can reduce somewhat, right, for MPLS, but it is not going to replace, because MPLS is going to be your underlay, right, on which you are building these SD-WAN tunnels. So if you build, so you must have heard about this proverb, right? That if you are sitting on a uh, tree branch, you cannot cut that branch. So consider this branch as the MPLS. Yes, the use can be less because we have another branches now, like internet, but it is not going to replace it. Anything is many people not working SD-WAN technology. How can we get developed design? Yeah. So for that means if you can just begin with some of my videos from scratch, and I'm repeating this thing once again. I'm repeating this once again. If you know the fundamentals well, right? If you have a solid understanding of fundamentals SD-WAN, there is not going to be problem in the design. But yes, because you haven't designed, you say that I haven't designed, I do not have any design experience. That way, the people like us can come and help you, right? So there are some sessions going on right now where I explain whatever I have designed for my customers, right? Of course, I am not going to tell you for which customer, but yes, we explain some of the production networks which we have designed for SD-WAN, so that everybody is aware of that. So guys, start writing your questions, because the third board is of now only understanding the soft skill, which is again a pretty important requirement. So I have found one more question. I'm a fresher, just passed out this year. I am CCNA. 6 days ago, I have applied tech engineer roles. And do Cisco give chance to everyone to prove themselves? They will select the profile account. No. So they can give you the profile, and believe me, if you are good with it, so you can send your profile to me also, right? But I only forward resumes or profiles only if I sure that yes, you can convert this into a offer, right? So I think Sai Kumar Nayak asked this question. So Cisco gives the equal opportunity, right? So if you have good understanding of CCNA level knowledge, right? And if I say that you have a good understanding of 1, 2, 3, then yes, basically there is no problem in getting into Cisco. Anybody else? Any other questions do we have here? Hi, so somebody is asking why Python in networking. See, today, basically whatever the time period in which we are working right now, right? It is always good to learn a networking, a computer language. Believe me, it is going to help you in upcoming future, right? The computer language, maybe it's Python or any other language, it is going to be as good as whatever. See, I am talking to you in English language, right? So it is going to be as important as that in upcoming future. So, and believe me, this is not even I had the same perception that learning a new language is going to be difficult. Believe me, it is just an effort of 15-20 days. I'm not saying that you need to learn a full-fledged Python, right? I'm just saying at least you should be capable of writing some scripts so to log in into a particular device, to do some activities there, right? If you can do this, you can use the various modules to perform different tasks. Any other questions? No, sir. I want to know about YouTube channel, and all courses are available. So basically, YouTube channel name is The Bridge, and if you do not find it, just scroll down to my profile page. You can see many videos posted there. You just click on that, and it will take to my YouTube channel. Right? I am again writing the name here. The channel name is The Bridge, But the problem is with this name, there are so many channels. So if you can write on YouTube SD-WAN and write my name Vishnu Dutt, you will be seeing this channel, right? Or I can directly send you the link. So I'm opening the browser right now. Okay. I think you can see my browser. If I go here, typing YouTube, and if I say SD-WAN, let's see, something comes here. Yeah, the first video basically which is coming is mine. This, and this is the channel here, the bridge, right? So if you go to the playlist, basically you will be finding several playlists here. So we have route switch basics, SD-WAN hands-on videos. We have cloud networking from scratch. We have learn SD-WAN from scratch, create SD-WAN on any lab in GCP from scratch, right? Uh, Means if you can follow these 6 or 7 videos, you can create your own lab. We have interview preparation series. We have a complete course on software defined access, which is very widely appreciated by the guys who himself created this solution. Okay. The content is pretty less, but we are going to create the content on weekly basis, right? So if you can see here, network interview preparation series, we already have 5 or 6 videos here, and I will be uploading one video every weekend. Okay. Yeah, so that question I haven't explained till now, Mr. Raj. We will be explaining it in upcoming videos. But yes, if you are asking about what questions do we need to prepare, it is right there. So if you go here on the network interview question series, right? So here are the questions. Every question is here. I haven't explained all of them in my video till now, but I will be uploading one video per week, uh, guys. So these are the questions, right? And then I have taken one questions each, and I've explained that, right? So this is the portion where I have explained the subnetting, and if you talk about this thing, then basically we are talking about here how to compute stock when they are in same network. These are the simple basics, but believe me, if I took approximately 20 minutes to explain this, then it means it is having so many things in it. Okay, so let me see if any you have videos of Python in your YouTube channel. Not till yet. How much cloud knowledge is important? As we can see, yes, it's a pretty neat question, good question, and I would like to answer that first, right? So if you're a network engineer right now, so as you can see, previously we used to have the data centers, right? And we used to have these branches which were connected over any medium like MPLS or internet, right? They are connecting like this. But now with the cloud, what we are doing, whatever the servers we have here, we are placing them into cloud, maybe AWS or Azure or Google Cloud, right? So we are moving these servers from here to here. But the problem is remaining same because you are going to have these branches, right? Branch 1, branch 2 in different part of the world. Although you have moved in, right, from the DC to towards the AWS, but yes, you need to connect this AWS back to your branches. And organization are still using MPLS. They do not want to prefer each and everything with respect to internet, right? So they have something that, SD-WAN configured here, uh, and then basically in DC have been replaced by the CNFs or the carrier neutral facilities. So what is going to be your role, right? So the problem is going to be same for the network engineer. You need to connect this uh, AWS or Azure infrastructure or the servers you are going to create here. They need networking, right? And once you have networked them, when they are when once you have created the network, which we call the VPC, you need to connect this VPC or virtual private cloud back to your branches, right? And again, the same technologies are going to come. But yes, as a network engineer, you should be understanding cloud from the perspective of networking, right? Nobody is stopping you to understand cloud from any perspective. But as you ask this question, you should understand uh, this cloud from networking perspective. And for that, I have created a complete 5 hours course, which is absolutely free of cost, available on my YouTube channel. Learn cloud networking from scratch. That is right there, right? So whatever you need to know from network engineering perspective, it is right there on my YouTube channel. Okay. So what is VPC? What exactly this cloud is? How you are going to connect back your VPC or the cloud back to your organization, to your data center? What are the various methods? What basically VPNs are? So many things are there on those 5 hours. So I have explained this here in Cisco also on this 5 hours training, and most means 300, 400 people have joined it. So I will request you to just have a look at it. Okay. So, do you have any dedicated plan to teach SD-WAN from scratch to expert level? Yes, Salman, please do contact me for that. Sir, I want to know about YouTube channel and all courses available. I just explained it. Explain it. We do not have any Python, Pradeep sir, till now. And somebody has posted my YouTube channel name also. Sorry, linked also. Thank you so much, Nova, for that. Raj is asking, uh, the bridge SD-WAN will work. Yeah, means I would say means if you understand the SD-WAN and the design, whatever we are teaching, you would be good to go. Then and thank you so much, Raj, for saying that I saw all your video. Best explanation ever. Thank you so much. And Tapan is asking, sir, which firewall is good to learn for beginners? I would say learn Palo Alto or Adaptive Security Appliance for. See, the concept. See, one more thing I would like to tell you, learn any concept so that you learn it from the viewpoint of all the vendors, right? So generally, if you see my SD-WAN from scratch playlist, right? In starting 3 sessions, I even haven't taken name of any vendor, right? Cisco or any other vendor, right? Similarly, if you can say if we talk about your firewall, right? The concept is going to be same, right? This is a box which is saving us any access from the internet side towards our organization, right? This is going to be your outside. This is going to be your inside, right? And then basically to your DMZ. So many things are there, right? The concept is going to be same, whether you are using Palo Alto, whether you are using this. So just make a habit of reading from a general perspective and then decide to go for a particular platform. Doesn't matter if you are learning Palo Alto or ASA, you are learning security, right? And if you are learning security, just make sure that you understand the concept of CIA, confidentiality, right? Integrity and authentication. If any vendor is providing you these 3 things, it means that you know security well. Then basically you try to talk about any specifics of firewall. So Akshay is asking, can you just mention which service we focus as network engineering from AWS or Azure? You should see the virtual private cloud, and then some of the firewall pieces which they have, and then basically their VPNs thing, how you are going to run routing protocol. So believe me, Akshayji, I have mentioned all these things right there on my channel. If you can just have a look at it. Although, see, my videos are not going to be only 3 or 4 minutes of length. Those are going to be long videos, right? Sometime 1 hour, sometime 1 hour, 1.5 hour. And believe me, I am the proponent of learning learning which has depth, right? So whenever you start watching my video, just have a sip of coffee because it contains a lot of information. It contains a lot of theoretical aspects. What exactly you need to know, but I make sure that once you are done with the cloud networking playlist, uh, whatever you need to learn from the networking perspective, it is right there. Okay. Now, AS is good to learn fundamental. Thank you so much, Nova, for this is good. This is good. So let's move towards our next board now. Okay. And in fact, uh, the next board is basically the soft skills requirement, right? So as I mentioned, from the technical viewpoint, so first thing first, you you need to understand uh, your job role, right? And it is pretty easy to understand because the job role is there, right there at the job description, right? And if you're comfortable, then comes the technical part of it. And in technical part, we have explained three things: one, two, three. First thing is you should have a solid fundamental knowledge, right? There is no alternative to this. If you do not have, basically it's a problem. And that is why I say give it a break. Just do not give any interview unless you have fundamentals, right? The second thing uh, is going to be learn at least one software defined networking, right? Concept from when for sorry a software defined networking from the perspective of design. Doesn't matter if you are having experience of 1 or 2 years, right? That is perfectly fine. And nobody means I have seen people here in Cisco who is having only 6 months of experience who are working with me and designing this network SD-WAN, right? A technology is a technology. If you know technology, you know technology. Doesn't matter if you are having an experience of 1 year or several years, right? If you know technology, when you can design. But yes, if you are early in your career, then it is always good to showcase your work to an experienced guy, right? If you haven't designed any network, then we start we have so many sessions here which we conduct online in classes also. If you want, just contact me for more information, right? If you're looking for the designing part and or how to make sure that you are fit with respect to this second requirement. And the third requirement, not mandatory one, but believe me, it is going to be very useful for you for your for isolating your resume. uh, if you can just learn something in Python or basically Linux. If you have these three things, nobody is going to stop you uh, from getting into any organization, any networking organizations which you want, right? But understand the job role first, fundamentals, any software-defined networking technology, and then Python, right? It is also applicable for service providers. It is also applicable for collaboration. It is for service for security, and yes, for example, for all these things, whether you are coming to SP, collaboration, security, data center, the first thing is going to be same. The fundamental portion is going to be same. Yes, the software defined part is going to be changed in these, right? But yes, if you have understanding of Python, you will be much more appreciated, right? Now the things comes with respect to soft skills, what exactly you need. So there are some things which we generally check, all right? When I have seen many people who have a blast in their technical round of interviews, right? No problem, they were superb. But when we gauge them on the basis of soft skills, right? Doesn't matter how much you are good with respect to technical abilities or capabilities. If you are not meeting these requirements, you are not going to get into these networking companies. Okay. So soft skills are requirements. So what exactly we are going to look into this? So first thing first, because you are going applying for these roles, network consulting engineer roles, which or the technical assistance role, which directly requires you to contact with the customers. which requires you to talk to customers, right? We see a requirement of uh, one thing, which is basically we can say customer obsession, right? And there are multiple stories, and believe me, if you are into this networking domain, you all have done so many things which proves that yes, you are customer obsessed, right? Sometimes whenever we are working on the design, and if it is not working as expected, and customer give us a call at approximately 8 or 9 p.m. in the evening, right? You go on the call with the customer, you explain them. This is what basically customer obsession is, right? So sometimes we ask that, yes, you have been in the industry from last 6 or 7 years. Can you explain us that uh, what exactly uh, what exactly you have done above and beyond from your current role? So you should be prepare of such questions, right? Then accountability is the other thing which we see, right? Accountability is just nothing. You know that you are whole soul responsible for your work, right? If there are some problems which are coming, which are stopping you to do your work, right? You can discuss with your team, but but you cannot leave that work in middle, right? Because there are problems. Problems would be there. You have your seniors here. You have your team here which can guide you, which can help you. But yes, because of a problem, you are not going to leave the task in your hand, right? You are going to be whole soul accountable, and believe me, you all are accountable in your current job. But you just come up with a story, right? Or you just come up with this experience which you already have in your current organization of this accountability. Okay, so these two things which I really feel which are really important for for you. Then third thing is basically, do you have any difference of opinion, right? For example, means if we have three people here, right? And if we are working on some project, of course there are going to be difference of opinion, right? But you should have a big heart to understand what exactly the other person is saying, because sometimes uh, I agree that sometimes you are the accountable for your job, right? For your project, for your work. But it is not no harm to just listen politely, patiently to other guys' suggestions also, right? So if I say that there are going to be differences when you work with multiple folks in a team, but yes, it is up to you how you are going to manage those differences, right? So you should be able to check those differences, right? And if somebody is suggesting you, then you should appreciate them. So the culture of appreciation is also there. I'm not sure whether you know about this or not, but Cisco is always in top 2 or 3 companies which are the best place to work. And believe me, I have been hired in Cisco uh, out of my college. I have been here from last 13-14 years, right? And I can vouch for this statement that yes, Cisco is one of the best place to work, because it gives you ample of time for learning. It gives you ample of time for to do your project. It gives you ample of time for your family also, right? So uh, uh, customer obsession, accountability. If you have difference, you need to manage them, and we can ask you these questions because we follow this strategy, right? We listen politely to our colleagues, right? So we ask you that, do you have any experience in your life where you see that there is a difference in opinion? And believe me, you should not say that no, I haven't have any experience, because difference of opinion is fine, but it all depends on how you are going to take it. It is as simple as that. Okay, perfect. uh, there are some more things which I would like to explain you. So first thing is customer obsession, accountability. So whatever is on my top of mind is whatever I'm sharing. And yes, one more thing, if you can just put your ego off, right? Just give it a day off. So basically, see, we all are working for our customers, right? And we need to make sure that customer is happy with our work, right? And sometimes this ego creates a lot of problem, that I know more than you know less than, or whatever, right? So if you just believe me, I means it doesn't matter how much you know. It all the what matter is how you interact with different people, right? So if you can just put that ego off while during the interview process, or basically whenever you come here. So this is what basically what I'm showcasing you what I do, what my team does, right? If you possess all these qualities in you, then believe me, with respect to soft skills, you are good, right? And last thing is, you should be able to communicate. You should be able to at least tell whatever is in your mind. You should be able to tell into crisp and clear words, right? I'm not saying you should be having a pretty good English, means you should go for this training or that training. But see, a language is just a medium to convey what is in your mind, right? And if you can do that in crystal clear word, there is more than that is more than enough. That is more than enough the requirement for a network consulting engineer, right? So again, very simple requirements. You should understand the job roles. You should understand those things which I am again and again explaining, the fundamentals in terms of technical, the one software defined networking technology, and then third thing is any language. If you possess all these things, you are right now ready for the interview. Even you are ready for the interview if you are, but if you do not possess those fundamental skills, believe me, you're not going anywhere. Okay. And try to be having all these soft skills also in you. Okay. That is going to be key factor. So any other questions? Because this is what I had, this is what I wanted to present to you. Okay. And there were some initial technical glitches, and I'm extremely sorry for that. I know that many people have not able to join this because I have received more than 300 acceptance for this session, but many people haven't joined it because of the technical issues which we are facing. But I'll make sure that I will put this recording to over LinkedIn so that everybody can understand, everybody can see this. Okay. Having said that, I am open for questions. I will be here unless I explain or I cover all of your questions. So do ask me any questions, whatever you want. So, what is the difference between leadership skill and the soft skills? So, I'm calling anything which is outside of your technology or technical domain as a soft skill, right? Leadership means I have explained one simple thing to you, right? If you are accountable, you are a leader because because I think this question is asked by Nova. Thanks for such a nice question, Nova. Leadership skill means uh, it is again a soft skill, right? And if you are accountable for your job, you are a leader, right? If you are customer obsessed, you are not thinking about the time while reaching to your customer to resolve, you are a leader, right? If you are keeping harmony in your team, if you are making sure that your team also learns, also grows with you, you are a leader. Okay. Then Sarfraz has a question. I'm exploring 5G and Kubernetes now. Can you suggest any site to learn these technologies in detail? Absolutely. So there are some architects who are working in the 5G domains, and definitely Sarfraz, I will be coming to you with some of the resources. So keep in touch with me, right? Just write the same thing on the message also in the LinkedIn. Okay. Any other questions, guys? Any other questions? I am here for some more time, unless I answer all the questions. Nitin Chauhan is asking, sir, is it possible to have a mock interview with you in case if someone judge themselves before going for a big tech interview? Absolutely, we can. But you need to make sure that you are good enough for that mock interview, right? And how you are going to make sure, just go to my YouTube channel. I have taken this YouTube channel name a lot of time, but believe me, that is going to be what you need. So if you are pretty much comfortable with all those questions, everything, right, you should be, let's have a interview also sometimes, right? How do the cloud-based services, SaaS services, improves customer network? This is not the right forum to talk about this, Akhilesh. But yes, just give me, just send me, just ping me over my personal number WhatsApp, and we can be in touch for that. Any role of CISSP as a NC? Yes, you basically. I think you are asking about NC, uh, network consulting engineer. Absolutely. So basically, if you see the security part of the part of the domain, yes, it is going to be a useful thing there. Okay. Anybody else? Any other questions? If anybody wants to participate for internship with Cisco, not me, is it possible? I'm not sure on that part, because for internship, Cisco always go for some of the institutions which are right there. Means they go to colleges and do a hiring from there. But I'm not sure what is the process of getting into internship into Cisco. If you getting into internship into Cisco, if you are part of the college which is not preferred by Cisco. I'm not sure about, but we'll let you know. Nova Joseph said in the second part of the interview, after fundamental, you were covered SD-WAN. Can we get details about security? See, I'm not sure whether you have seen my SD-WAN videos or not, but those are 5 videos there. And of course, those I haven't covered everything. But if you see the last 2 videos, I have explained the security into the detail, right? Because to any solution right now, uh, whatever available there, you require knowledge of network security. It is a must now. So in SD-WAN course, whatever we have, we explain approximately 2 to 3 hours only network security, right? Otherwise, you are not going to bring up the controllers in your own environment. Although I've seen people that they install certificate, they do everything, but they do not know exactly what they are doing. But try to understand whatever you are doing, whatever you are reading, just try to think about it, that what exactly you are doing. Otherwise, there is no point. Okay. And one more thing which I always preferred whenever I am reading any concept, if I get an answer, that if I can explain this technology to 10 or 12 years old in a simple terms, and if I get an answer to that question, yes, then I come to know that yes, I have read this technology well. So if you have this approach in your mind, if you can explain things after reading, then basically you get the concept. Otherwise, not. Otherwise, there is no point of reading. You are just wasting your time. Then, can you guide some topics in networking? Absolutely, I can. Pradeep, be in contact. Be in contact. Yes. Uh, Security also. So to give you a little bit detail about me, I have spent approximately 7 or 8 years in network security business unit of Cisco. So I know this VPNs, I know security technologies well. Then I spent around 6 to 7 years in 6 years approximately here in advanced services part, which where I deal with customer networks. I solve problems of customer network, design new network, and so many things. Right? So yes, I can help. Now Salman is asking, nowadays freshers are going for CCI certification. Will that benefit in hiring at Cisco? What are your thoughts about it? Uh, See, certification proves that you have something in you, right? But believe me, that is not going to be the whole soul thing, right? Because I have seen triple CCIs, double CCIs who failed the interview and right there at the first step, right? So uh, although I'm not, although I have done few certifications, right? But I am not great fan of certifications. But yes, those will provide you the structured approach of learning anything, right? So to the question that it is good for beginners, yeah, you can go for CCI, right? But now you are coming with an extra burden when you are coming with it. That I would be thinking that yes, this guy is a CCI, right? And CCI is a big thing, believe me, right? If you have done the certification with proper understanding, CCI is a big thing. Okay, so if a fresher is coming up, I would expect that he can design the network, which he cannot, right? So, but I'm not saying that a fresher cannot design a network. If you can just get hold of the Google Cloud platform, you can get a hold of good lab there. You can design the real life scenario, right? And that is what we need. Okay, so fresher can do the CCI, but I would not appreciate that. Instead of going and preparing for the CCI, I would say learn concept and choose the CCI syllabus to learn those concepts, right? But once again, whatever I have explained in this complete live class, right? It is wholesale my viewpoint, right? I am not sure what other people have to think about it, but this is what exactly I think. But this is what exactly I or my team thinks when they hire somebody from outside. Okay. So another question from Pramod Trivedi ji. I have certificate in CCNA from Udemy and JetKing input. It is valid in Cisco company. See, certificates from different vendor, I'm not sure, but if you can prove your knowledge, that is perfectly fine. If you are CCNA, you are CCNA, right? Doesn't matter from where. And I'm saying if you are CCNA, it means that you know all those concepts well. You know the fundamentals well. And if you really want to check Pramodji, just go on my YouTube channel and see that whether you can explain the same way, where you think the same way, where whatever I have explained as part of those fundamental questions. Okay. Again, a question from Nova. Can you do one session from the perspective of SD-WAN design and how to develop? Definitely. Believe me, Nova, just go and watch my videos. You won't be having a problem. But yes, from the design perspective, I can think of something, right? So be in touch. Sai Kumar, Sai Kumara Nayak says, what do you suggest for fresher who wanted to join Cisco as a fresher? Be solid in fundamental, learn one SD-WAN, sorry, software defined technology, and you are good to go. Okay. Okay, so I am again waiting for next 5 more minutes, 10 more minutes. If there is no questions, I would say I want to take your leave. And believe me, I am going to upload this on YouTube channel, my YouTube channel, as well as my on my LinkedIn. But I am extremely sorry that uh, I am not able to do the LinkedIn live. I'm not sure why it didn't work. So it seems that we do not have any other questions. Thank you so much. Thank you so much for attending this session. Keep in touch. Just see my YouTube channel. There are going to be a lot of updates there. If you haven't, you just follow me on LinkedIn also for new updates, right? And whatever, I will be happy to help. One more thing means if you can just wait for one more minute. I am organizing a session, right, on TCP, transmission control protocol, right, which is a pain point for almost everybody whenever they go for interview, right? So in that session, we are going to talk about everything in TCP from scratch, from really scratch, right? If you do not know anything about TCP, we are going to discuss it. That is going to be a 5-hour session, 2.5 hours on Saturday, 2.5 hours on Sunday. It is going to be a paid session. I will be charging you only 1 rupees, right? For the registration, 1 rupees is the minimum cost for the session to attend that, and the maximum can be you can choose anything for the maximum. The minimum is going to be 1 rupees, and believe me, if you attend that session, right? If you attend that session, it is going to solve all of your issues with respect to transmission control protocol or TCP, right? It is going to be there within 3 weeks duration time. And yes, Pradeep is laughing on that, but yes, 1 rupees is the minimum fees we are going to charge. Okay. But yes, if you feel that it's worth even more than that, you can pay us more. Okay. So you will be, just follow my LinkedIn page. You will be seeing pretty soon a post regarding that, or how to register for that course. But again, I am a big fan of learning and going deeper into the technology. That is why the course length is going to be 5 to 6 hours, 2.5 hours on Saturday, 2.5 hours on Sunday. It is going to be like that. Okay. And now everything is done. Thank you so much once again, guys. Enjoy your day, and thank you so much for giving your 1.5 hours to me. Bye, and have a nice day.